Here's my 30-second story with Guinness. As soon as my sister and I get home for the holidays, we don't even unpack. We head straight to our pub. The bartender already knows our order, Guinness and fries. We laugh all night, catch up with old friends, and walk home with faces sore from smiling. It's one of my favorite nights of the year. That was my 30-second story with Guinness.
Guinness Draft Stout. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by Diageo Beer Company, USA, New York, New York.
When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
This episode is presented by State Farm. Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the protection of an offensive guard on the football field, but getting an elementary school crossing guard. Sure, they're both guards, but you can only trust one to keep your quarterback safe when the game is on the line. So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Oh, Hilton stay, your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. Enjoy comfortable rooms and friendly service when you stay with Hilton instead. Save up to 25% this season when you book with Hilton. Hilton for the stay. Terms apply.
Welcome back, everyone, once again to the Skating Penguin Network. It is the evening of December 4th, 2025. We are winding down this year, but before we do that, we have a bunch of Penguins hockey still coming our way before we flip the calendar. So tonight, we are back to discuss the Penguins and Tampa Bay Lightning. The Penguins are in Tampa Bay, game 2 of a 3-game road trip. But before we talk about the craziness that was that hockey game, we're going to bring in Snail once again on the other end of the mic here tonight. It is a Thursday evening, both here in Pennsylvania, and it's getting ever later out there in Seattle as well. But Snail, how is this week been? How is your Thursday, and are you ready for another weekend that is approaching us here quickly?
Yeah, man, I'm ready for another weekend. I'm always ready for the weekend. Yeah, dude, things are great out here. There's a lot of buzz out here currently because the PWHL, the Women's League, added 2 teams to the league, and that included Vancouver and Seattle. So that's kind of been what I've been hearing a lot about. I think they just got their first win either tonight or the other night. Actually, I this is my fault. I was going to say captain of the USA team. I don't remember if she captained the USA team, but Hillary Knight is the captain of the Seattle team this year. So that's kind of exciting. A couple of guys I know from hockey are out. They got season tickets, and I've been seeing them updating that. So that's pretty cool. Does Pittsburgh have does the state of Pennsylvania have a PWHL team yet?
No, they weren't a part of the original expansion. They have hosted different women's events. They've hosted a couple US Canada games, and they did something with I think they back when a few years ago, the first or second year of the league, they hosted they did a weekend in Pittsburgh and a weekend in Detroit. Kind of and they've always drawn great crowds. I thought with the first round of expansion, I know the Penguins do a lot with it, and they definitely have. I don't know what the application process is, but they basically said that we want a team. It's just whether or not or where in the cycle they would go. Obviously, for that, you have to compete with some Canadian cities as well for that.
Oh yeah,
Buffalo is going to be in that mix on the East Coast kind of thing. Philly does not have a team, so they're going to probably be talking. But I do believe Philadelphia is getting a WNBA team, so maybe the Penguins can more or less. Maybe the Penguins can be like, hey, if they're getting the WNBA team, why don't we get the PWHL team first? But it's the Seattle Siren, right?
No, it's the Seattle Torrent. Now the Sirens are the is it the New York Siren? I'm not quite sure.
Siren is one of the names.
It is a name. Yes.
It's not Vancouver, is it?
No, I don't know the name
Okay.
of the Vancouver team, but yeah, that league is, dude. If you've ever tuned in, that is entertaining hockey, man.
It is.
And
Yeah.
they're asking for physicality in that, which you don't need physicality in the women's game. I mean, it's a skill game. It's still fun to watch, but dude, those games get chippy, man. And it's a great product out there. We're lucky to have so quickly out here in Seattle gotten not only the Kraken NHL expansion, but then they were first in line basically for the expansion for the PWHL.
Yeah.
And bringing in, I think, Hillary Knight, I think she's from Idaho. She's from the west, not the West Coast, but the west side of the country, anyways. I think she was with Boston, the Boston Fleet, and she went to college in Boston. She had some glory years there. I can't remember if it was BU or BC, but I think it was BU. But yeah, so it's cool that that's here in our backyard, and I'm sure it's only a matter of time before that expansion starts to go crazy out on the East Coast. Because I mean, you think of all the college sports, all the women's college programs out there. Talk about like feeder systems, and I mean, it's gonna boom, man. It's pretty cool stuff. So, as far as out here, man, that's kind of the buzz that I've been taking a peek at lately. How are things out Pittsburgh way, out east, as we would say, from the West Coast?
Cold. We got after we recorded on Monday night, going into Tuesday, we got hit with our first real snowfall of the year, a couple inches, and it's not done anything because it's just been cold. Cold and cloudy, so no sun has even really been out there to melt anything down. So it has been very wintry. Like, it's even this time of year, we don't usually get it this cold until after Christmas, but it has been very chilly these last couple of days, and it doesn't look like it's getting any warmer as we go through the weekend here. It's supposed to stay pretty cold, and
so the snow's going to stick around then on the ground then?
Seems like it, unless we get a surprise like day where the sun comes out a little bit and it gets even like 35, 40 degrees to get rid of some of it. But it seems like we're going to be looking at snow here for the foreseeable future, which I don't really care too much. It's nice around Christmas to have a little snow on the ground.
Sure,
it's just when it drags on into like early March and it's still snowing, it's just like, man, we got to get some green. I got to see some kind of color. But
see something start to blossom here and there.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, outside of being cold and snowy, it's been good here. Wrapping up. I mean, tomorrow's Friday, or when you're listening to this, it will be Friday, which means the weekend's here, and it's just good times. Penguins play on Sunday coming up, so not much Penguins hockey this weekend. But getting to tonight's game, wow, what a chaotic mess of a hockey game that was in Tampa Bay. The Penguins, we'll talk about the specifics, but they get out of Tampa with a 4-3 victory. They're 4-1 in their last 5. They've won both. They won the first 2 games of this road trip. You knew the Tampa game was going to be difficult. Tampa's leading the Atlantic Division right now.
All of a sudden they stunk at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. No Andrei Vasilevsky, but plenty of Nikita Kucherov.
What was up with Vasil? Why do we always get their backup? I feel like the Penguins haven't faced Vasilevsky. I could be wrong, but it feels like every time I watch when they play Tampa, they always get their backup, and I feel like it's a disrespect thing.
Yeah, maybe they Vasilevsky's supposed, and they didn't have a back-to-back. Like, they don't play until Saturday, so I don't know if maybe he was a little sick or just nursing a little issue. They gave him the night off. No real specifics on that. But the fireworks started early in this one. Boko Imama, I thought he'd be throwing the gloves on Monday night against Philly. He didn't get in a fight in that game. But
he tried. He was trying with Hathaway.
He tried to fight. He did try to fight Garnet Hathaway a few times, and Garnet Hathaway smartly rejected him at every turn. But Curtis Douglas of the Tampa Bay Lightning, a
mutant,
behemoth of a human. Boko ragdolled basically what is a giant. This was a very Boko is not the world's largest person. Boko is not a massive figure. He doesn't
look like an enforcer.
Boko is 6'1", 221. That is not, for an enforcer, that is not a huge player.
No.
That is not big at all compared to like some of these guys. Remember, we mentioned him on the last podcast, Vinny Descharnais, how big he is. You remember how big Douglas Murray was if you're a fan back in the mid 2010s. You remember Crankshaft on the blue line. George LaRock was a big person. Hal Gill wasn't an enforcer, but Hal Gill was a monstrous human being. But no, Boko is not a big dude. He was giving up 6 or 7 inches to Curtis Douglas and just laid into him in a very good tilt, like a good hockey
fight. It was
fight.
A good fight. Yeah.
Just a good hockey fight. Sometimes, you never know what you're going to get. I mean, two guys that it's generally more entertaining when it's two guys that know how to fight. But sometimes you get a scrap that it looks like it's going to be good, and then it just kind of fails to live up to it. It turns into more of a wrestling match than an actual fight. This was a good old-fashioned, nothing dirty, nobody got injured, just two guys throwing fists. Boko gave up a lot of weight and a lot of height, but clearly won that one. If that would have been judged, I think that would have been a unanimous decision.
Oh, he was just hitting them with rights at the end there. It was
laid into him. And again, Boko, I mean, if you're fighting guys like that, you have no fear about anything. So big credit to
shoulder surgery in the off season?
Yeah, because he got hurt at the end of last season, and then he took a while to kind of, obviously when you have major shoulder surgery, your hockey activity is pretty limited until you can get your upper body working again. But no, I mean, for his first NHL fight of the season, laid into Curtis Douglas, set the tone kind of for this game. This was Tampa Bay. Like Tampa Bay got juice from it too, though. Tampa Bay was really flying early in this game and for most of the game, really. But no, Boko stepped in. Boko was hungry, obviously. He wanted to fight in Philadelphia. Didn't get it. He was like he definitely had the juices flowing when he stepped on the ice. And he even had 2 days to stew about it and think about it. And he goes out there and starts throwing hammers and gets a nice, clean fight win, his first of the season at the NHL level at least. So Boko's really been showing off all sorts of skills, whether in the AHL or the NHL. He's scoring slick backhanded shooter, penalty shot goals. He's fighting in the NHL. He's doing
feeling it this year, man.
Yeah, he's doing he's feeling it right now. That's for sure.
And I don't take him out of the lineup. I think he's great on that fourth line.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to. I mean, he only did get 5 minutes of ice time tonight, but the Penguins did kill a lot of. We're doing a lot of penalty killing tonight, so I can't say too much. He definitely, that killing. I think they had 6 power plays or something like that. So I mean, that alone is over half a period just in penalty kills. So Boko, he gets about 10 minutes of ice time. That fourth line is just the Penguins. We'll talk about Blake Lizotte. It might be like not your MVP, but like your most underappreciated player, your MUP. He's your most underappreciated player. The dude wins faceoffs, does everything, scores the occasional goal. There's definitely some nice offensive touch there. You don't see it all the time. But the dude, I mean, just plays his heart out every time he's on the ice. And he's been, again, we talked about it on the last episode. And when he signed last summer of 2024, we said that is going to be their most important signing at the end of the day. And he, thankfully, I believe he has another year on that contract yet.
I think so.
After this one. So, and
he's not old.
No, I mean, Blake, he's one of those guys that feels like he's been around for 7 or 8 years now, but I mean, he's only 27. Well, he'll be 28 and next Saturday, the 13th. So he's almost 28. He's in his seventh. He's in his 7th season already. So I was not lying about that. He has been around for 7 or 8 years.
He has.
He broke into the league early. He has 3 goals this year, which again, you don't need Blake Lizotte scoring 20, 25 goals, obviously. Nice little American player. He's only 5'9", plays a lot bigger than that, plays a lot faster than what he is. And just really, he is if he would go down, that fourth line would probably be not very good. He is kind of the engine that makes that fourth line run. And
very valuable.
Great.
On the six.
He had concussions last year.
Yeah.
He had a bunch of kind of like miscellaneous injuries that took him forever to get going. But once he got going, he was fine. He's been healthy this year. And really, yeah, obviously Crosby, Malkin, those guys still the headlines. But Blake Lizotte just does so much for this team.
He does, man. I love that guy. And he's such an upgrade over some flack to former Penguins, man. I guess. But, like, I mean, think about, like, the Blugers that the Penguins had. And we kind of touched on them recently, like the Tanevs and the Jamie McGinns. Is it Brock? No, Brock McGinn.
Yeah.
That was his brother. Brock McGinn's, like, he adds that little, he can chip in a couple of goals. He's undersized, but he wins faceoffs. He was injured last year because, man, that guy's fearless. He plays with no fear, especially for a 5'9" guy. Blocks shots, physicality is whatever he can muster up in the moment. Big on the penalty kill. Like, he's just, he's definitely probably an unheralded hero by a lot of Penguins fans, definitely league-wide. But for those that know that's the guy he's the motor of the bottom six. And I'd say the penalty kill too, man. Like, when he's out there on the ice, like, he's always got that high guy. I don't know. I feel better when he's on the ice, man.
He took 16 draws tonight, won 10 of them. Second best on the team behind
Crosby. That's
unreal.
So,
second best on the team behind Crosby.
Wow.
Third, he was actually second best in the game too. Jake Gensel did take 5 faceoffs and won 4 of them, so he was actually a little bit higher, but he didn't take nearly the volume of draws that he did. But 110 of 16 faceoffs. Crosby, the only player better in that category for the Penguins.
Shocker.
Really. I mean, what more could you possibly say about that? But let's get to the scoring real quick here, because the Penguins were not playing well to start this game. Boko did give him a little bit of jump, but Tampa Bay kind of fed off that on the other end. The Penguins get the first power play of this game. Max Crozier goes to the box for a hooking against Benny Kindle, and the power play did not look good, but the goal we've been waiting for about what feels like a year now. Ville Koivunen, what a shot. Great play from Letang. Letang gave him enough space, a pass that gave him enough space, and the wrist shot that we know he has, unleashed that. No prayer for Jonas Johansson. Beat him clean. His first career NHL goal, and this is one that I feel like once the first goes in, they're going to start coming in droves for Ville Koivunen. That's just kind of how it is sometimes for some of these guys. They start gripping the stick a little tight. You're pushing shots, you're pulling shots, but this one he blasts in on the power play. Beautiful shot. Great. You saw the relief in the celebration. And this is kind of fitting that he got it against Jake Gensel as well.
I didn't even think of that, man.
Yeah. It literally hit me right now. Him being the centerpiece of that Jake Gensel trade. He's shown flashes, and he goes out there tonight and gets that first career goal. Happy for him, and a great way for the Penguins to kind of shake off a rough start and get that early lead.
Yeah, man, I was so happy to see him score. I feel like I was wondering. When the game first started, I literally was just like, who's the tough guy on Tampa? Maybe Boko will get in there and try to get something going. Sure enough. And then I had the thought too, and I wasn't predicting the future or anything, but I was like, maybe Ville gets one tonight, huh? Like, what a night would be for him to get one, because Tampa's really good right now, and we're going to need all the offense. Sid and his line, they do a lot of the heavy lifting. Gino at times has been just completely on fire. That line has, gotten, I don't want to say cold, but they've cooled off since Brazeau went down, and it's kind of been a slow decline there. They put that kid line together again, which I'm super excited about. And I was thinking maybe Ville, let's see some offense chipped in from these guys. Sure enough, on the power play, that big body Anthony Mantha right in front of Jonas Johansson in net there. I thought that's something that the Penguins have missed. I mean, remember they got Bunting and they're like, this is our net front guy. And I was like, dude, get a big body and put him there. I thought that James Van Riemsdyk player might be a good option for them at one point. JVR, big net front guy, but Anthony Mantha's doing his best to screen and then kind of cause a little bit of havoc and try to tip one in, but no assistance needed on this night from Ville Koivunen, man. So good to see him get on the board. And like you said, now that he's got that, because the assists have always been there. He's racked up points. It's like he clearly has the vision. No shade to him, but this isn't like what's his name? Valtteri Puustinen. Remember old Valtteri Puustinen? Kind of a one-trick pony, not a huge point getter, but he had like a bomb of like a little shot there. I don't get that from Villy. I think that he will start
he's
to.
He's not a clapper. No, he's gonna wind it up with a wrist shot and let her loose.
Yeah, he's a sniper, so he's going to be picking corners, and he's got a lot of hockey smarts, man. So I think that let's hope that he starts filling the net. I mean, he doesn't have to win the Rocket Richard or anything, but for a third liner on a line where he's trying to build some chemistry with some other young studs on the team, I mean, I figure they'll start coming for the kid.
Yeah, absolutely, and it came for the kid tonight. Finally, getting that monkey off his back, and hopefully that leads to a load of more goals. Which hopefully it should. He has that confidence. He knows that shot can score. So let's hope that keeps rolling. But the Penguins, he gives them the 1-0 lead. That's where they are after the first period. Second period comes around. Penguins still clinging to that 1-0 lead, and then the Gino Machino makes forces a turnover, gets away free, and then just undresses Jonas Johansson to make it 2-0. Unassisted goal, 7th of the year. He wants a contract now. He wants another contract. I mean, I don't know if he can just up and sign a new deal right now, or if he has to wait to like a certain point of the season with the CBA.
Dangle the carrot, because we want him playing like this.
That's fair. That's fair. I'd say like until the Olympic break. Like don't push your luck on it, but like, I mean, just let him know that it is, that it's there, waiting for him. The way he's playing right now, I thought maybe like last year we talked about how he started hot and tapered off with the age. He just keeps going this year, man. We're now at game 28 or 26, 27, and he's still just playing good hockey. His 7th goal of the season, gives the Penguins a 2-0 lead, and then they get a power play out of the whole deal. And Ville Koivunen, what you can do, I can do better. On the power play, a beautiful passing sequence. Carlson with a slap pass right to the front of the net. And who's there? Who has a stick in the right place at the right time? But it is Ben Kindle, who's
been watching some Sid footage with the tip.
Yeah, and maybe he's taking lessons during practice. You don't know. But dude, you come into the league, you know how to score a couple of ways. But Sid showed you gotta, if you want to really rack up the goals, you got to find ways to just use that stick in any which way to get the puck behind the goaltender. And it looks like that's what he's been doing, man. But this is his 7th of the year now. So he's starting to fill the net a little bit. Erik Karlsson and Malkin were the assists on this one. But yeah, Ben Kindle gets his 7th, a beautiful tip play. It's 3-0. And listen, 3-0 lead is great to have. Maybe not so if you're a fan of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Especially against a team like Tampa, because Tampa just needs one, and it feels like they can really throw them in bunches. Before we say anything else here, the Penguins are up 3-0 at this point. Tampa has a good bit of the play, but in goal, Tristan Jarry, ever since he came back from history, we'll talk about more because he really came up big very, very late in the game. But he's just been good. He's been good. He's been the goalie that if he was that in the past, that contract would be cheap.
I felt like I feel like we're in 2021 again when you relied on him for wins. And Robbie, it's not perfect every night. Like, he's not a superstar goaltender. He's not one of those Russian goalies that, are they throw their name in the hat for the Vezina every year. That was never going to be him. But let's go back to 2021. Let's say that 2021-ish. This reminds me of vintage Jarry, where he keeps you in the game, and there isn't a ton of monkey business. There actually was some monkey business. I mean, we'll get to it a little later, but I mean, he's just been going in and battling and doing a good job.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just
speaking into the void?
But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
The
The Who's down in Who Newville were making their list, but some didn't know Walmart has the best brands for their gifts.
What about toys? Do they have brands kids have been wanting all year?
Yep, Barbie, Tony's, and Lego. Gifts that will make them all cheer.
Do you mean they have all the brands I adore?
They have Nintendo, Nespresso, Apple, and more.
What about...
So the Who answered questions from friends till they were blue. Each one listened and shouted, from Walmart? Who knew? Shop gifts from top brands for everyone on your list in the Walmart app.
While the Who's of Whoville were laughing and eating, the Grinch from his lair sought to wreak havoc on their season. He thought, how do I ruin their holiday meals? A plan sprang to mind, which he enacted with zeal. Dill pickle seasoning on fries will make for a green surprise. And I know they'll be shocked with these loathsome odd socks. So if you want to experience the Grinch's mischievous meal, head to McDonald's and show him how you really feel. The new Grinch meal, now at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's while supplies last.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. More rewards, more savings. With American Express Business Gold, earn up to $395 back in annual statement credits on eligible purchases at select shipping, food delivery, and retail subscription merchants. Enjoy the benefits of membership with the Amex Business Gold Card. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-gold. Amex Business Gold Card. Built for business by American Express.
Yeah.
It's simple as that.
Again, if he plays at this level, the contract's fine.
Sure. And Shelovs hasn't been exactly pushing for the starting position his last few starts.
I mean, at this point, they're well off the goalie rotation they were using. Jari's been pretty much the regular since coming back. He even played the game that they had to against Toronto where they had to yank Shelovs in that game.
That's right.
So, yeah, I mean, Jari he's very clearly right now, it's a small sample size, but he is goalie number one, and I'm fine with that. If he keeps playing like that, again, the contract's fine if he plays like that. Again, yeah, you take it one day at a time with Jari. You do really never know. But as I was saying about the Tampa Bay Lightning, all they need is one, and they get one at the end of the second period, about a minute and 15 left. Nikita Kucherov, who, I mean, he just scores. I mean, that's just what he does.
He's just unreal.
Yeah, he's just unreal. He gets one at the side of the net, his 12th of the year. It's 3-1 after 40 minutes, and that completely flipped the switch for the Lightning. They get a power play early in the third period. The Penguins got really undisciplined at points in this game. They end up taking 1, 2, 3. They take 6 penalties in this game, but they luckily.
Sid has a 110 flex stick, which is basically a crowbar, and he broke it over the back of JJ Moser.
yeah. Crosby's stick, obviously, the flex isn't necessarily there, but yeah, he takes a penalty. That's at the end of the first period. Chris Letang takes the tripping early in the third, and within seconds, Brandon Hagel gets his 16th of the year. Though they took 6 penalties in this game, they did kill 5 of them. So that penalty kill does continue to be very solid for the Penguins, top 5 in the league, right there with the power play. But Brandon Hagel, who is going to be going with Team Canada to the Olympics for certain, makes it 3-2. And then the Penguins are clinging for dear life. And at 11:44, it is Brandon Hagel with number 17 to make it 3-3. At this point, man, you just got to hold on for a point. You can't blow this game. You've already kind of blown it. You cannot give up at least a point in this game. But Gino Machino to the rescue once again, a give and go with Tommy Novak. The puck ends up on Gino's stick. He buries it past Johansson. 4-3. And at this point, you feel like, okay, they got a point. The point is secure. Well,
no, I didn't feel that way. I thought that this. I did not feel safe after that.
You thought they were going to give up 2 goals in the last 2.5 minutes.
I just knew that but let's just say this: I had a feeling that the fireworks weren't over.
Well, they weren't, kind of, for the most part. The Lightning tie it. Nikita Kucherov scores on Tristan Jarry with about a minute and 5 left. But we have a review, and they say that the puck was contacted with a hand not a stick. Thus,
I would have never caught that.
Well, that's why they have review guys, I guess. Thus making it a hand pass because it was not touched by a Penguin or the offending player. Kucherov's goal is wiped off the board. So it is still 4-3 with about a minute left. And the Lightning just unload in this final minute on Tristan Jarry. But he is up to the task to keep them out, preserve the 4-3 win. So not only do the Penguins escape with at least a point, they get the full 2 without giving anything to the Lightning in this game. The Lightning fight all the way back and get nothing. But it's going to be I think for the Penguins, it's going to be, okay, you survived, you got the 2 points, get the hell out of there. For Tampa, it's we came close, but you can't go down 3-0, even against teams that you might be better than. At the end, in March or April, we're not going to remember how they got these 2 points. We're just going to look at the Penguins, hopefully in the playoffs, and say, you know what? They got the points required. And every point they get right now is a point you do not have to worry about in the spring.
In March, yeah.
Yeah. And right now, the Penguins, again, 4-1 now in their last 5. They've cleaned up a so-so November. They wrapped it up pretty nicely. They've opened December with 2 wins, both on the road. Philly's always going to be Philly. Tampa Bay is just Tampa Bay just finds a way to score goals. And now you go to Dallas, but we'll talk about more of that. We'll talk about that more in a second. But they come in to Tampa. It doesn't all go their way. They're backs against the wall. And then the big Russian bear, the big veteran steps up and buries one. And that's what you need to win these hockey games.
Absolutely. It's what you need. It had a little dose of everything, Robbie. This is like when you're like making a pizza and it's got every perfect topping on it. Yeah. It had the physicality that, Tampa, they're physical, man. They don't shy down from anything. It doesn't even have to be an enforcer on the ice for things to get chippy. They have a pack mentality, and they've kind of always had that since they kind of became really relevant again. But yeah, you had in the Penguins win that they got tonight, they had a little bit of everything. They had, Boko Mama stepping up. And I think that I'm a dinosaur, man. I'm going to say this until I am no longer on this earth, but I think that fighting and physicality still has a place in hockey. And it does. This wasn't sticking up for a teammate thing. This was to get your team going. And Sid's old school, man. You think Sid wasn't tapping his stick on the bench there for him after that? He sure as hell was. You had the kids coming through. You've got a dedicated kid line now. You've got three first-round picks all on that line in Ville Koivunen, Rutger McGroarty, and Ben Kindle. Ville was a first-round pick, wasn't he?
He might have been second, but I'll look it up real quick.
Early second, maybe.
Yeah, early, but he was a early pick in the draft.
I thought maybe part of that whole trade he was a first rounder, but
let me look here. No, second round, 51st.
Second round.
So mid-second.
Okay, mid-second rounder. A good prospect. Let's just call it that. But
he was a part of the Poulin draft. No, he was a year before Poulin. Never mind. I got my years mixed up. No,
did they even have a pick in the first round that year?
Nope.
Well, either way, you had the kids coming through with the chipping in offensively, with Ville and Ben Kindle both getting on the score sheet there with big goals. You had the veterans. You had your 1B captain Gino scoring goals. And yeah, maybe his goals, they're not picking corners like they used to. Maybe more of his goals are going to be sliding along the ice these days. But either way, he's still got that dog in him, and he's still an elite talent. And you got a bit of that. And then one of the other important ingredients you got that the Penguins haven't had the last couple of years is goaltending. Jarry stood tall and was great. And I think another thing too that you can't in a game like this, what we saw shake out there at the end, you need a little bit of luck, man. You need a little bit of luck sometimes to get over the hump there. And that deal there that was The glove pass, I don't think I'll ever say thank you Toronto too many times, but thank you Toronto for reviewing that one and helping them wave that Kucherov snipe off the board. So yeah, man, it was just this was a great game, and it kind of brought me back too a little bit. Like, this was kind of a vintage game. It was exciting. And I mean, I was a little clammy at the end there and kind of frustrated seeing that that their 3-goal lead was just deleted basically. But hey, man, that's the breaks. They got the 2 points, and they're on to Dallas, man. So
yeah,
great game. Yeah, they didn't have Vasilevsky in net. Yeah, they didn't have Braden Point. This isn't the Tampa Bay juggernaut that they were, in 2021. But they're still a good team, and they've got players clearly that can hurt you. When you've got Kucherov, Gensel, and Hagel all dispersed on the first 2 lines there, I mean, they could be a lottery team, but as long as you've got those guys, they're still going to find ways to make you pay. But yeah, the penalty kill came up a bit. I was actually looking at the penalty kill here because you mentioned, I mean, yeah, the Penguins became unglued at times. They've got a penalty problem, man. I think it's safe to say that they can get a little bit unglued, like I said. And
yeah,
their penalty kill is 84.4%. Is that accurate? Does that sound right?
Their penalty kill?
Penalty kill.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
Pretty good. They're 4th in the league with the penalty kill, and they're number 1 in the league in power play. And then number 1 in the league in penalty kill, I believe, is Tampa Bay.
They are. Yeah, and the Penguins scored 2 power play goals tonight on the best penalty kill in the league. Yeah.
When your special teams are rolling like that, Robbie, you're going to have chances to win. Like, it's just, and that's something the Penguins haven't had in the last couple of years. They haven't had youth. They haven't had goaltending, and their special teams have been, well, the power play was abysmal. I mean, it was actually a joke at one point. Yeah. It was the worst. Let's not even touch that topic right now. But right now, they're 4th in the league penalty kill, number 1 in the league power play, and they're getting some solid goaltending. So, you're going to eke points out here and there, and it's just about kind of consistent. What did you say they are 4-1 right now in the last 5?
In the last 5, yep.
Every 5-game increments, like, can you be over 500? Like,
yeah.
And if they can kind of keep that up, Robbie, then yeah, it's not going to be like the last couple of years where they have to go on a 15-game win streak to get into the playoffs in the last. Yeah. Remember when they just rode Nedeljkovic into the absolute ground?
Yeah, he played like 12 or 13 straight games or something like that. And they played him in a completely meaningless hockey game, like a game that did not mean a single thing. They played him.
I'll never forget that. That was just, it was a valiant effort, but it's like, dude, what happened to October, November, and December? Like, you couldn't have chipped away here and there. And this year, things are different, man. Things are great. Things are a lot better under Muse and company.
Yeah, so those power play numbers and stuff we're looking at actually don't even factor in tonight's game yet. The NHL website hasn't updated yet. They were number 1 in the league before a 2-goal performance tonight, and they were 4th in penalty kill with killing 5 of 6 tonight. So they should at least improve those numbers once they get added into the NHL database. But no, the special teams is working. The special teams working like it is takes a lot of pressure off being your best at 5-on-5 all the times. You don't necessarily need like your depth scoring to just fill the net on a night where your power play is adding 2 goals. Like that's a huge boost. The penalty kill on a night where you're undisciplined, sloppy penalties against a power play like Tampa Bay. Kucherov is a great setup man that can score himself. Brandon Hagel's approaching 20 goals already. No Braden Point tonight, but they got dudes that can score. They got dudes on the blue line that can score. They got guys up front that can score. They have Jake Gensel. Not playing Andre Vasilevsky is a massive boost because you obviously know that Vasilevsky can completely take over a hockey game at any point. Getting Johansson tonight clearly benefited the Penguins, though. Again, I don't know if Vasilevsky stops that Koivunen ripper. Maybe he makes a better attempt on the breakaway by Malkin. The Kindle tip, unless you're positioned right, very few goalies are making that save. Johansson definitely makes it an easier task, but you still got to find a way to get the puck by whoever's in net. And Jari made the big saves when needed to that maybe Johansson couldn't make tonight. So the Penguins, they keep fighting in this game. It doesn't always go their way. They blow the lead, but they bear down. Malkin gets the game winner. He gets 2 on the night as in total. And the top line tonight did not record a point. Crosby, Rust, those guys did not record a point tonight. So, yeah, it's good when that second line wakes up. Mantha, Novak, and Malkin were playing well. And then the kids line, Koivunen and Kindle both get a goal in this one. Boko gets the fight. And, yeah, you just go out there and, you just keep playing your game. And Dan Muse has them playing very, very good hockey for the most part. There's still a lot of young guys on this team that are still learning just how to play hockey at the NHL level. Yeah. So you're going to have growing pains from time to time. Jari is not going to make those big saves every night, obviously. You just need him to make them. You just need him to get in a position where he's making them more often than not. And the power, like again, the special teams keep playing like this, they're gonna find wins. It's just when you can't have the best power play in the league and be too far out of the playoff hunt. You just, if you're clicking at that pace, unless they're just not calling penalties against the other team, and then being able to bail yourself out with a penalty kill like that is a massive thing to have, especially when the defense has some question marks night in and night out. But I thought Carlson was really good tonight. Kind of seeing the guy that we all thought we were getting 2 years ago. Again, we'll harp on it, but his 30 for 30 when he retires or whatever they do for him, the Mike Sullivan years is going to be like its own episode because something was not jiving there. But whatever Dan Muse has told him, whatever game plan he has for Carlson is completely unleashed him like the old Erik Karlsson. He's so good with the puck. He's one of the best, and maybe I'm just because I watch him more now than obviously I ever really got to when he was in Ottawa or San Jose. And God bless the guy's a multi-time Norris winner, but he plays on teams that you can never get to watch in Pennsylvania, Ottawa, and San Jose. But man, just one of the best puck handlers still in the NHL. Again, that never leaves. The speed might leave. The hands never go. But just an artist with the puck. He captains that power play with such confidence that, again, Crosby, like those guys might not say anything publicly, but behind closed doors, they have to be so grateful that he's playing like he is right now, because that opens up so much, not just 5-on-5, but especially the power play.
Dude, yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, man. Because when you've got Letang able to kind of take a back seat, and he doesn't need to be that puck mover, power play quarterback anymore at his age. The foot speed and everything with Letang has fallen off a little bit, and I think the decision making sometimes can be questionable. But to be an offensive puck moving defenseman, you've got to play that high wire act. And I think last year there were times where we were frustrated with both of them. But Letang, it was like, who do you want to hurt you more, Letang or Karlsson?
Yeah.
And this year, Dan Muse has taken the training wheels off. He's unleashed them, whatever you want to say, and he's exciting to watch, man. When he's on the power play. It's not always perfect. Sometimes he's skating as fast as he possibly can to get back on a 2-on-1 breakaway going the other way on the power play. But you also see him shimmy shaking at the line, and he's, dude, unreal passer, dude. Like, he's just got this insane vision, and it pairs so well with Sid, dude. Because him and Sid, they think the game at this level, they see the game at this level that I'm sure Ben Kendall's going, what the hell are you? What the hell am I watching here? Sometimes, like, he's coming from Regina or wherever he was, or no, he was in Calgary. Doesn't matter, wherever he was. He's coming up to the NHL and he's seeing this clinic put on at times, probably in practice with Sid and Karlsson, and now he's on that power play. So yeah, I mean, that goal from Kindle tonight too, I think that was all Karlsson. I think Karlsson was just stick in the right position. It was basically Karlsson using like a bumper and pinball and being like, I'll score this goal, just you need to have your stick right there. That's kind of what it looked like. Props to Kindle because he needed to have it there and get in position, but I mean, that's Karlsson setting that up. I mean, I don't know how many other guys can really do it. You've seen him do it with Sid. Too. You know, he's basically just like stick your stick out there, and I'm gonna just launch a hard, crispy pass, and it's gonna go right over the goalie's shoulders. So, yeah, man, it's exciting to have this guy playing the way he's playing, and that number one power play in the league right now isn't happening, I don't think, without a guy like Karlsson.
No, which is kind of like we talked about trading him this offseason. Like, no, like again, you haven't heard anything about. That's a whole nother episode in itself. How about how the talk of all that has calmed down since the Penguins?
Well, think about Karlsson. He's playing. He's probably having fun. He probably came to Pittsburgh. Me and Sid are gonna ride shotgun to another to a cup here.
Yeah,
and it never looked like it was going to happen. And I'm not getting ahead of I'm not trying to get ahead of myself here and say that they're cup bound. But I would say for Karlsson, he's probably having the most fun playing in Pittsburgh, like right now.
Oh, absolutely. He's having a blast. You can just see it in his entire demeanor. You can see it in the way he plays. Like, even on defense, like, obviously not the main point of his game, but he's the efforts there on defense. Like, he's just, yeah, again, he was probably miserable for the last 2 years. Dan Muse took the chains off, and everything just seems to be clicking so well for Mr. Karlsson at this moment. But if you go back and watch the Kindle goal tonight that Karlsson set up, as soon as the puck goes in, Ben Kindle turns around and points right to Erik Karlsson. Like, that's like, he didn't even celebrate. He just turned around and pointed right to him, which tells you all you need to know who gets credit for. Ben Kindle might have the goal next to his name, but he very well knows that goal is not possible without
EK65
doing all that other work. But no, I mean, Karlsson is definitely freed up this year. Looks like a different hockey player, is playing like a different hockey player, playing like the Erik Karlsson that we thought we were getting when he traded for him. The guy that Kyle Dubas so meticulously worked for that big trade that he made, his first real big trade as the head of the Penguins. And yeah, so much of this.
Who did he ship out for that one? He turned Mikael Granlund, Jan Ruda, Jeff Petrie,
a first round pick. Petrie was a part of it. He ended up in Detroit somehow, I think.
Yeah, there was some flip flopping.
Yeah,
with
there was
teams.
a
It
lot.
took another team to facilitate that insanity.
Yeah, a lot went on in that trade because it was like at the worst, like, okay, if Karlsson doesn't live up to his full potential, like, he's at least like dumping all that salary as well.
Right.
And that's kind of, and now you're getting peak Erik Karlsson too. So like, you shedded salary, you're getting peak Erik Karlsson in such a short time. There's so much of Kyle Dubas's fingerprints already over this team. We need to sit down and do a mile in Kyle's shoes at some point, just to kind of like catch up on all that. The way he's been, just the way that he's kind of re-engineered this entire franchise, and really he re-engineered it in like less than a year. I mean,
dude, the second he stepped foot into Pittsburgh, like, I mean, yeah, I mean, he was handed a shit sandwich, dude. Like, it's not like he was presented with, it's not like Joel Quenneville stepping into the Ducks organization and just being handed all these like prospects and pieces, right? Like, Kyle Dubas had some really heavy lifting to do to continue Sid's, I don't want to say Sid's, let's just say a team with Sidney Crosby on it to continue their success. He wasn't exactly handed just all these beautiful pieces, right? Like, he had a lot of heavy lifting to do, and it's been to get to the team to even where they're at right now, where things are not perfect, but you've got the youth, to put all this together. I mean, yeah, dude, a mile in Kyle's shoes is probably overdue. And sometimes I'm reluctant to give props to the general managers sometimes, because they're just so easy to, there's a lot of ups and downs to their job, man. And like, you can criticize them just as much as you can praise them, but yeah, man, he let's just say, yeah, you said it well. He has his fingerprints all over this success right here. It's measurable. Yep. You can see it. So thank you, Kyle.
Very, very much. Thank you, Kyle. Let's keep it rolling here as we move along this year and in the future, obviously, as well. But no, the Penguins get a 4-3 win in Tampa Bay. They're 2-0 on this road trip, 4-1 in their last 5. They now have another 2 days off before heading to the Big D. They head to Dallas for their yearly trip down there. We'll take on the Stars at 6:00 Eastern time. So it won't be a Sunday afternoon game. So hopefully we don't get the afternoon blues from the Penguins there. And they do get 2 days off too. So I'm sure they'll leave Tampa tonight, get to Dallas pretty late, and then who knows, maybe have a day off to explore down there. But then they come home for 5 in a row. So if they can get through this Dallas, if they can find a way to get something out of Dallas and then head home with all that momentum, we're going to be feeling pretty good. But we'll wait and see how that one plays out. That's on Sunday at 6:00. But right now, I think the Penguins fan base, you got to be happy with where we sit. Nobody thought we would be approaching Christmas and the Penguins third in the Metro Division, only 3 points out of first place with games in hand. So the Penguins, I mean, they just keep doing it, Snail.
They do. They're chipping away, man. And it's so like, dude, I have so much confidence all of a sudden in this coaching staff.
Yeah.
With Dan Muse and Bonino and Stuthers and what's the other guy's name? He had a little interview on the bench. The whole staff. It's awesome. So, yeah, man, they just keep chipping away and getting points. And, they get 2 outright tonight, which, it took a little bit of a hope and a prayer, but 2 points is 2 points, and it's get the hell out of Dodge and, on to Dallas. Where, Robbie, if you remember, I think last year, wasn't the Dallas game the worst game that maybe we'd seen? Oh, that was at home.
Yeah, that was a home game.
Oh, that's even worse.
I remember that vividly because
I probably started drinking into the first period, and I barely remember what jerseys were which. So
yeah, I remember that vividly. It was like October or something like that, and I just wanted to shut it off. It was just so bad.
That's a nice way of saying you wanted to swan dive off of a balcony.
Yeah, it was 7-1, and I think it was 6-0 after the first period or something like that. It was something horrific. But that was kind of the this team's not very good. But I'll treat Sunday as a measuring stick game. Dallas, on paper, the more talented team, and they're good. They're no doubt about that. They're a good hockey team. Tyler Seguin's out for the year.
Oh, that's so tough, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
do you think that's a career for him?
What is he's got to be what?
He's 33, I think.
33.
He's still, but if he's out a whole year, basically, I mean, dude, that guy, doesn't he have double hips, new knees?
Yeah, he's had about everything replaced. He's gonna have everything probably replaced again when he's 45 or 50. He's put his body through the ringer.
He won a cup, didn't he, in Boston?
Yeah, that was his rookie year. Yeah.
Okay, well, he's got the cup. I mean, I imagine he'll try to make a comeback, but yeah, you got to think for a guy like that.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that's how he'd want to go out, but I definitely think that it's a setback for sure. And again, he's not the player he once was, but he still had a role in Dallas. But yeah, he's gone for the season. But Dallas is good. Ottinger, who I'm assuming they'll face, is still a premier goalie in the league. But we'll treat it as a measuring stick game. Here's where the Penguins passed the Tampa test. They've won 2 in a row, 4 of 5. Let's see how they stack up against one of the best teams, not even in the East, one of the best teams in the West. The West always has the big, bad, tough reputation. Let's see how they go up against a team like that is relatively pretty healthy and ready to roll.
Absolutely, Robbie. Before we get out of here, I had 2 topics that I wanted to talk about, and we'll make it short and sweet here.
Go ahead.
But the first one I wanted to talk about was I saw a little timeline update for some of the injuries that the Penguins are going through. And it looks like Brazeau is about a week to a week and a half away from returning to the lineup and being activated off that injury reserve. Welcome addition. So you're going to look at that second line, and you're going to see Novak's going to come off that line, I would imagine, and you're going to stick – Mantha and Malkin have been, besides Brian Rust and Sid, those have been the most consistent people on a line or players on a line this season. So you're going to insert Brazeau right there on that second line. And Ricard Raquel, I think, is still weeks and weeks away. He's not
3 to 4, I think.
So he's still a long ways out. And And then I forget the other injury that I was looking at on there. But either way, there's minimal real estate for some of these depth guys on this team when you put a guy like Brazo back in that top 6. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
A guy like Novak, I mean, if you keep the kid line intact and they're your best option at the moment, I mean, and you've got that fourth line that where you've got Lizotte and you've got Duar, who are great. And then you have a Mama there. I mean, what do you do with some of these bodies once these injuries kind of resolve themselves?
Well, you know that Brazo and Raquel are like, obviously when they're healthy, they're going in the lineup. Like that's no question. So I think you look at it as one, you know that there's going to be nights where Kindle's not playing. He's going to get nights off as they manage him to the NHL. So that you have that. McGroarty and Koivunen, assuming they're healthy, are going to be every night guys. So you're looking at Kevin Hayes as one of the guys, obviously, and maybe he's at that age now where he can be the rotational guy. You don't need
kind of like Jeff Carter, like a 14th forward, or a 13th forward. Sorry, yeah.
Boko, I think, is a guy that he gets some nights in the lineup. He doesn't as well, because obviously you look at everybody else. Lizotte is not coming out of the lineup. Dewar, I can't justify taking him out of the lineup at all. So I think Dewar stays. And then that's it. Like Mantha is obviously not going anywhere. Novak can move up and down the roster. But other than that, like you are limited. But Brazo and Raquel are obviously two guys that, if they're healthy, they're playing. No doubt about that.
So, I guess it's not, I'm not saying trade these guys or send them to the AHL, but there's going to be there's going to have to be some juggling on some of these lines. And that's a good point. Ben Kindle he's going to have nights off here and there. And same goes for probably, Rutger, he should be in the lineup every night. He has some ground to make up. Ville Koivunen, I think he's an NHLer. He can play every night. I guess if it's a more physical game, you probably keep Boko in, but if it's more of you're going to need an offensive chip in here and there, maybe a secondary guy on the second power play, you throw Kevin Hayes in there. It'll be interesting to see. So I just kind of wanted to pick your brain on that, just seeing that, it's nothing to deal with yet, but the timelines are going to be slowly creeping upon us here. And then the other thing that I was going to bring up was I saw an interesting thing online, and maybe it was even mentioned on the broadcast at one point, but they've sold out of Ben Kindle jerseys already, and they've been using old Phil Kessel jerseys with different lettering on the back to supplement the insane sales of these Ben Kindle jerseys.
I mean, you got to give the people what they want, and they want Ben Kindle jerseys. I mean, I didn't know they still had old Phil jerseys. I mean, you'd figure that those would have been, even after he left on the clearance rack for a while, like people would have grabbed up. I mean, he was one of the a beloved Penguins player. Like somebody would have been grabbing that just to have. But hey, Phil's still coming through for the Penguins, even though he hasn't been here in quite a few years.
Maybe that's where he's getting the scoring touch. Maybe a little crossover there of Phil. The Phil jerseys.
Maybe he's wearing an old Kessel jersey. And
I like that.
Like, Ben, we need your jersey. We're going to give you the here's this one. It's the same exact thing. Don't worry about it. He's wearing an old
Miro Shatan jersey.
Maybe he's wearing. No, Shatan never wore the
black and gold.
The black and gold. He only wore the shiny gold. But right. So maybe Ben Kindle's wearing an old Phil jersey from the storage that is rubbing off on him. So they just keep rotating them when they wash them. They got another one ready to go.
I love that. It's so funny actually you say that, because I saw that there's an account I follow called Pro Stock Hockey, and you can buy excess pro stock equipment from NHL teams or whatever at a pretty good price. Anyone listening to this, check them out. But I saw that the Utah Mammoth actually, they got a shipment from the Utah Mammoth, and guess what? They got a bunch of Phil Kessel sticks from that.
All right.
So that organization, they probably just ordered so many, of Phil's custom curve in a Warrior stick that they they got a bunch of them available. So I might actually, I haven't bought one yet, but I was thinking recently, because I recently have adorned my Phil Kessel jersey on my wall. And I was thinking maybe I'll get one of those Pro Stock sticks just with his name bar to put under it for a little display piece or something.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine the flex on that thing.
Whippy.
Yeah.
Probably
he had a
junior, intermediate to junior flex on that thing.
Yeah, he is he has a much more flexible stick than Crosby has.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of the grandfather of that whole thing where everybody had crowbars basically when he came into the league, and then he was the one that was like, it worked for me in college, I'm not changing a thing. So, and it worked for him.
It seems like the younger generation is definitely using sticks with a little more flex on them than what guys Crosby's age are. But Crosby's is flat, and like you said, it's like a piece of rebar. It's like it ain't going. He
uses a stronger flex than most defensemen who use notoriously stiff sticks. I think like Ryan McDonough uses like an 80 flex stick, and Sid uses he has 3 actually. He uses like 100, 105, or 110, dependent probably on how physical he's going to get that night with stick work. And I think he's using a 110 right now, and it's like that. I mean, and he snapped that over. That takes some strength just to break one of those, man. That's like Bo Jackson breaking a Louisville Slugger over his knee.
Yeah, and he broke one over a guy's back tonight. So
I'm sure that felt great.
Penalty from Sid. Oh, I'm sure that who'd you say that was?
JJ Moser.
Yeah, I'm sure JJ is going to be feeling that one for a couple of days, especially if you got him in a place that's a little more lightly padded than like the Chester where the back pads come down. But
I think he got him that one for. Oh, Sid knows where the padding.
Oh yeah, Sid knows. He's actually probably lucky the stick broke because it took some of the energy away from his ribs. And but no, I mean, you're a big equipment head guy when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, so I mean, you saw the slow-mo when Kessel would shoot the puck. That thing bent like a U. Crosby has the old Adam Oates stick.
Yeah,
it's flat. It's about as flat as you can get without it being like a table top, just enough curve, and then it's stiff as a board.
Yeah, exactly, man. And it's worked for him for so long, and it's And Phil Kessel used exactly the opposite. He's got actually kind of a similar curve. We don't have to nerd out on this too much, but his curve actually from the heel up to about the midway through the blade, it's about the same, but he's got a little bit more of a toe hook on it. And basically he's got kind of like a modified Medano curve, and which would make sense because Phil Kessel probably grew up watching a lot of Medano scoring in Minnesota. He's from Minnesota, probably saw that and said, let me get a little hook on the end for toe dragging. That's what they're doing these days. That's what the kids are doing. So man, but I'm going to probably have to get one of those Phil Kessel sticks with the Utah Mammoth wrap on it just for decoration. And, maybe if the cousins come over for a little knee hockey, I'll have to break it out and show them what that thing can do. So anyways, man, those were the 2 little things I wanted to touch on. I just saw, and I thought, Penguins worthy stuff to chat about, but man, as far as the Penguins goes though, playing wise on to Dallas, man. And that's going to be a challenge for these guys. I mean, it's no Jonas Johansson in net. That is going to be who's that American kid who's just unreal? Jake Ottinger, another Minnesota kid. He probably watched a lot of Phil Kessel.
Yeah, the Otter. Yep, the Otter. But so the Penguins, they're victorious in Tampa in a crazy game. On to the Big D for a meeting with the Stars on Sunday. Snail, if you have nothing else, I have nothing else.
We can get out of here.
We're going to get out of here for tonight. You guys have a good weekend. Have a safe weekend. We'll talk to you guys sometime after they take on the Stars.